Soundstripe. Soundstripe.
Hello and welcome to another episode of Cannonball Diva Chronicles, where uplifting the downtrodden is our focus. My name is Cannonball Diva, and today I'll be discussing the series of narcissistic traits and tactics that we should be aware of. The two that I'll be talking about today are isolation and character assassination. Isolation is a way of the narcissist keeping their victims away from their friends or family members or anyone perceived by the narcissist to be a potential help to their victims in the way of advising them or telling them that what the narcissist is doing to them is wrong. The narcissist does not want anyone to save or protect their victims from their actions against them. The victim is left alone and isolated from friends and family members or people who are considered to be loved ones of the victim by the narcissist, so that these people will not come to the aid of the victim. The narcissist prefers to abuse and maltreat the victim in peace without anyone knowing any better. And most times, the victims are always or also ashamed of telling people about what he or she are experiencing in the hands of the narcissist for fear of looking weak or not being able to take care of themselves. Many narcissists will go to far lengths to keep their victims away from others. And some ways they do that is by restricting their movements outdoors, monitoring where they are by calling them on the phone very frequently throughout the daytime, or tracking them, or even putting tracking devices in their vehicles in extreme circumstances. The narcissist is very controlling and very manipulative to their victims. They keep their victims from having any outside help or outside entertainment. And they pretend that this is all for the best of or for their victims. They tell their victims that they're just trying to protect them. I remember a time when I had been invited while I was in West Africa, Nigeria, to a birthday party of one of my former schoolmates' children in Lagos, Nigeria. And I was looking forward to going to this event, which wasn't too far away. It was about a 30-minute drive. And I hadn't been going away or going out too many times, and I was bored in the house. And in fact, so many people had commented that I was a homebody at that point and asked me why I never went out. And the opposite effect of my spouse and my partner always being out of the house made it even seem more weird to them. They asked me why I didn't like entertaining myself, going out and having fun as a young mother. All I could say to them at that time was, well, there are not too many things out there that interest me. But when a former schoolmate of mine who invited me for one of her children's birthday parties, and her children and my children were about the same age group, I decided that I would go. I made plans to get someone to drive me in one of our vehicles to the event. I kept this all from my partner, who was out of town and in a different city for business purposes at that point. He had warned me severally not to expose myself to outside influences by saying, out there is very dangerous. Don't go out. Many people out there, they're rough. You don't need to be out there, while he freely went out as he pleased at any point. So I secretly got someone to drive me to the location because I didn't feel comfortable enough driving in the rough streets of Lagos. I went for the party and my children had fun, and so did I, and I was very glad that I had gone. Shortly after arriving, my partner found out by way of speaking to people in the neighborhood that I had gone with the driver. Or wittingly, some of them had innocently told him that I was not available at the time when he was inquiring about my whereabouts. And then when I came back, I had an earful of complaints and threats about what could happen to me the next time if I ventured out of the house with my children. I mentioned to him severally that this was a former school friend, and also pointed out that I grew up in Lagos. And if at the age of 16 or 17, my parents had allowed me go to the markets and shop for my provisions to go back to school with so many times, why did he think I needed a chaperone? Or why did he think it was better that I stay home when I had been invited to an innocent birthday party? He told me that I was taking risks and taking chances and warned me not to repeat that. This is one of the ways the narcissist pretends to love you and to be making decisions to protect your well-being, when in fact they're trying to keep you from meeting people that you could confide in about their treatment against you. And these people could turn around and either advise you to leave him or worse. That is the reason why narcissists like to isolate their victims. Another reason, like I mentioned earlier, that the narcissist exhibits some of these traits is because they feel it is better to protect their image. Protecting their image from people knowing how they truly are. Because outside of the household, they are someone else entirely different from who they are indoors. They show people outside and people who do not live with them that they are quiet and calm human beings. The only person that truly knows their true behavior and character is the person that lives with them. And they do not want that person to go out and reveal who they truly are to the world. These isolation tactics can make their victims become depressed, full of anxiety, always fidgeting, being bored all the time, looking out the window and wondering what's happening outdoors at a young age when their mates and their peers are going about doing different things with their lives. The second narcissistic trait I'm going to mention today, and it's another form of smear campaign, which I'm going to talk about, is character assassination. When the narcissist fails to control their victims, when they feel like all their manipulation and all their abuse and all their attacks are not working, they then decide to move to the next tactic, which is character assassination. Character assassination involves the narcissist speaking badly about their victims, spreading malicious lies, and becoming very negative about their victim, telling people that they did things they never did. They exaggerate the truth, and they speak about things that even the victim would be shocked to hear that they did. They make the victims out to be who they are not to outsiders. And also, one thing the narcissists are very good at doing is projecting their own bad character traits onto their victims and saying that their victims are liars, are uncontrollable, are really very bad behaved, and do things that they never did. When the narcissist talks about their victims and decides to destroy their reputation by character assassination, many of the victims are not aware that this is happening. The victims are under the belief that this narcissist would never stoop so low to make up untruths about them. The only time many of these victims find out that the narcissist has indeed been spreading malicious lies about them is when the victim successfully leaves the narcissist and gains his or her freedom from them. The narcissist is very vindictive and tells lies. Lying is one of the main evil and bad character traits of the narcissist. The narcissist doesn't think it's wrong because the narcissist feels spreading lies is protecting himself from being exposed. Telling lies about the narcissist is like going out there, telling lies about their victims is like going out there and actually speaking lies about them to protect him or her from them looking bad when the victim comes out to tell the truth about them, so that no one would believe them. It's almost like being proactive. The narcissist is being proactive by telling lies about their victims, so that when the victims eventually tell the truth, it will be hard for others to believe them. Because by then, the narcissist would have done the smear campaign of spreading so much lies about the victims to others that many people might just believe that the narcissist is right and the victim who came after the narcissist to tell the truth is wrong. Many times, these victims do not even have a chance to tell the truth about what truly happened, because many people who have heard about them are not bold enough to approach them with what they've heard the narcissist say about the victims. My suggestion to those who have gone through vicious smear campaigning that have been organized by the narcissist against their victims is to tell the victims to ignore those who choose to believe the lies of the narcissist. If the narcissist has gone as far as telling so many lies about the victims, and those who have listened to the narcissist speak willingly or decide just to believe the narcissist, that what they are saying about the victims is the truth, it would be too difficult for the victims to prove them wrong. Therefore, it's advisable for the victims not to even try. Do not try to change the minds of those who choose to believe the narcissist. If the narcissist has said so many evil things about you, and those who have listened to the narcissist are going about believing that you are indeed like that, then let them believe that. Those who truly love you and those who truly have faith in you as a person will stand by your side. And those are the kind of people you need in your life. The victims have already been traumatized enough and maltreated enough for lengthy periods of time that they do not also need to go through spending hours or days, months or years trying to convince those who have willingly believed untruths about them. It is too much energy and too much time. The victims need to recover. They need time away to recover from all the years, months, and days of abuse in the hands of the narcissist. All they need is to find either psychological help or do some self-care or find some therapeutic practices to indulge in or to involve themselves in, to rid their minds of the evil and the bad memories of the narcissist. They do not also need to start to seek out who has believed lies about them to convince them otherwise. For our Lord God always says something in the Bible. We should spend our time doing things that please Him and not please man. God Himself is not a man that He should lie, neither is He the Son of Man that He should repent. His ways are not our ways. And it will serve us better as people who have experienced narcissistic abuse to focus on that. The love of God is ultimate and not the love of man. Therefore, if men have decided, so to speak, to believe lies about the victims of narcissistic abuse, it is best to let them believe that and focus on what God Himself believes about us. I'll end it here, and I thank you once more for tuning in to Cannonball Diva Chronicles. I sign off now with love, and I thank you for commenting and also subscribing today. Have a blessed day.